Yesterday at about 6:58, 2 minutes to 7, our office received a call of a shooting that occurred at this 51899 Pex Wadsworth Road in Wellington. One victim, identified as Susan Petric, was deceased at the scene, and the other victim, Mark Petric, her husband, he was found to have a gunshot wound to the jaw area, and he was treated at the scene, transported to Oberlin Medical Center, and subsequently transported over to Cleveland Metro, where he is presently in guarded condition. At the scene, we found two individuals. That Heidi Archer that I mentioned earlier, and her husband Andrew Archer. Heidi is the daughter of the Petrics. Heidi called 911 when they had discovered what they had discovered. Upon going to the scene, they were met by the 16-year-old son, Daniel Petric. They forced their way in. He stepped aside. They went into the residence and they found the two victims there. At that point, they checked Sue Petric. They found that she was in fact had no pulse and she was deceased at the scene. And as again I mentioned that Andrew Archer, he started to do first aid for Mark. He applied first aid, and while Heidi called 911. While they were giving first aid and were on 911 to our operators here, Daniel subsequently grabbed the keys to the family van and fled the area. Within minutes, the Wellington Police Department, had that information, stopped Daniel in the village of Wellington, and arrested him, held him for our officers. Holly, she's a 17-year-old, as I mentioned earlier, Holly Petric. She was not home at the time of this incident. She, in fact, had got called into work early, so she was away at work. There were 3 people in the residence when this occurred. The 2 Petric parents and Daniel. We were able to determine through interviews and the physical evidence that we had gathered that at this time we believe that Daniel Petric, the 16-year-old, he is the sole person responsible for this tragic act. Daniel provided some information to us. I'm not going to go into great detail about that information, but he's being held in Lorain County Detention Home. He will be having a hearing before magistrate tomorrow morning. But again, we're looking at something in the murder range, whether that's aggravated murder, whether that's just straight murder, and the charges on Mark Petric will be determined. Again, attempted murder, attempted aggravated murder, but we are talking to the prosecutor.
Was it a handgun?
It was a handgun. We did recover a handgun, a 9mm course. It was found at the scene. We believe that that was the weapon that was used. We also, at this point, have not traced it back, but we will do that tomorrow. But we strongly believe that that gun did in fact belong to Mark Petric.